In 2004, the Star Wars publication of Inside the Worlds of Star Wars Trilogy mentioned a starship named as the Praetor-Class Battlecruiser for the Galactic Republic. However, the vessel compared to other naval warships appeared much larger in size compared to the Star Destroyer classes of the time, including the Venator-class and the Victory-class, as well as other types of large cruisers. Indeed, the Praetor-class was the largest battlecruiser known throughout the galaxy, without being classified as a dreadnought, due to its light armament spread of firepower. It was introduced during the transitional phase from the era of the Galactic Republic to the Galactic Empire. This was a time in which warship designs would change quite dramatically, and the Praetor was an odd design which seemed to have a limited role within the new empire, as we see throughout this video. In 2008, the Complete Star Wars Encyclopedia and 2012's Essential Guide to Warfare also mentioned the Praetor vessel. Manufactured by Kuat Drive Yards in the final months of the Clone Wars in 19 BBY, several Praetor-class battlecruisers were deployed against separatist forces, with mixed results considering their cost to build and effectiveness. This class of vessel's primary role was a battlecruiser, but also used as a command ship. However, only a small number of these ships were ever manufactured, as the design did not meet the Imperial Navy's requirements due to its cost, size, and lack of versatility. The Praetor class as a battlecruiser was best suited for defending key Imperial capitals, shipyards, and accompanied by an escort of Star Destroyers and cruisers. Another use for this large vessel was to provide extra firepower to a battle and bolster the fleet. A disadvantage was the cost of consumption of fuel, food, and other resources. At a cost of 7 million credits, almost 5 Imperial-class Star Destroyers could have been commissioned, making it a somewhat inefficient use of Imperial Navy funding. The pre-Empire version of the Praetor class was designed to be a length of 4,000 meters, although the Empire went on to commission a Praetor-class Mark II, which had an extended length from 4,800 meters to 8,000 meters for reasons unknown. However, at the extended length, the Praetor would have qualified to be a dreadnought class, similar to the Bellator class and the Assertor class dreadnought, but was not classed as a dreadnought due to its light overall firepower. A significant design difference for the Praetor class was that it had no underside hangar bays. However, instead, the docking bays were situated at the bow of its huge wedge-shaped superstructure. Another unusual difference to the ship's appearance compared to Star Destroyers and Dreadnoughts was the large horizontal cylinder positioned at its stern. This is classified as a transport ring, which appears strange when considering the size of the vessel, and the ship's cargo capacity had to be housed inside the external section of the battlecruiser. Again, the bridge design was another change to the usual elevated Star Destroyer and most Dreadnought-class conning towers, which left their shield generators vulnerable to attack. Situated in front of the transport ring and part of the dorsal superstructure, was placed in a more protective position compared to other Imperial warships. However, the reduced visual and scanning capability was a disadvantage to the ship. However, the command section was significantly larger and could accommodate a greater volume of the ship's senior officers and bridge technicians. The Praetor's raised dorsal ridge also housed the cruise areas, such as for the officers, for the living quarters, training and combat areas, and the wedge superstructure of the ship housed the control systems and the engineering spaces. The Praetor's standard armaments consisted of 60 quad heavy turbo laser batteries, which were the spherical turrets on the dorsal, ventral and trench areas. Also housed in these areas were 40 twin medium turbo laser batteries, 30 twin ion cannons, 10 heavy tractor beam emitters, and 10 twin long-range ion cannon batteries. The Praetor class's shield and hull rating measurements are not classified. However, I would expect it safe to assume that the SBD and the RU ratings to match similar to the Allegiance class Star Destroyer ratings due to the ship's required power output and capability. The propulsion systems of the vessel held 3 ion engines and 4 secondary auxiliary ion thruster engines, 2 located on the outer areas of the ventral section of the ship, with the other 2 placed directly behind the extended ridge on the stern. Although the Praetor's hyperdrive rating is not classified, I am guessing the vessel held a Class II hyperdrive. Matching the design of most Dreadnought classes, the Praetor's reactor core lacked a visible ventral bulb, which ensured the reactor was heavily protected inside the ship within the engineering section. On board, the battlecruiser's complement was comparable to some of the Dreadnought classes. The Praetor held within its ship's hangar bays 2 AT-AT Walkers, 2 Lambert-class shuttles, 2 landing craft, and also held 10 TIE fighter squadrons totaling 120 starfighters. The required optimal crew to operate the ship was 109,000 officers, enlisted and pilots, and held the capacity to transport a massive 14,000 troopers and passengers. It could maintain consumables for the crew for up to 3 years. A notable vessel of the Praetor Mark II class battlecruiser, called the Helmsman, was involved in an important mission in 3 ABY. Commanding the helmsman was Admiral Mills Gilles, who led a large secret fleet to collect and transport a bizarre creature known as the Teasel to Imperial Center. The creature held the unique ability to send instantaneous messages across vast distances of space, and the Galactic Empire soon realized the enormous potential of using the creature as a communications hub for Imperial forces to spread throughout the galaxy. However, the rebellion infiltrated the fleet with 4 customized TIE fighters, which caused a confusing distraction amongst the fleet of Imperial vessels. This helped the rebels attack Gilles' Praetor-Class Battlecruiser and kill the Teasel located inside the ship's transport ring. After the Battle of Endor and the fall of Palpatine's rule in 4 ABY, an Imperial warlord, Admiral Xander Delvados, used a Praetor Mark II class battlecruiser as the flagship during his leadership of the breakaway Imperial faction known as the Iriado Authority. Strangely, even though only a small number of these vessels were ever manufactured, the Praetor class was still in service until 137 ABY. For more Imperial Explained videos, please give a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as always, long live the Empire!